Hello. I'm sure that most of you, I'm not going to say everybody because, but most of you today probably saw the memorial to Michael Jackson. And while I'm not, a big Michael Jackson fan, I do respect the music that he made, and I thought that the memorial was very good. I was really hoping it was not going to turn into a three-ring circus, which I'm glad it didn't. They had, class and respect. And what about that gold casket real quick? So anyway, reason why I'm making this video is during the memorial, Berry Gordy of Motown Records said that he thinks Michael Jackson is the greatest entertainer that ever lived. Now, Mr. Gordy's got a good case. I mean, he's seen a lot of people, Motown Records, Smokey Robinson, Temptations, Diana Ross, Jackson 5. The list goes on and on. I can't really think of, too many, but in my opinion, and please don't, I don't want to get, the crap beat out of me, but in my opinion, I don't think Michael Jackson's the greatest entertainer that ever lived. And I'll tell you, and I know a lot of people are going to ask why. I say that because, yes, he did it his whole life, but, there were points where he just completely stopped doing music. He just completely stopped. Yeah, he'd earned the right, but I mean, when you're the biggest, music artist in the world, you're supposed to be putting out new material, and especially after Thriller, you can't really top Thriller as an album. I mean, Off the Wall before Thriller, yes, bad, probably, but come on, no one's ever going to top. I don't think he could ever top Thriller. So, but I respect him as an artist. He's a hell of an artist, hell of a singer. Don't get me wrong. I totally respect what he's done for music. But I don't think he's the greatest entertainer that has ever lived. So, I'm going to ask everybody who watches this video, in your opinion, who do you think is the greatest entertainer that has ever lived? Your opinion. And this question, this debate, this question is going to go on forever. There's never going to be one true answer. I'll give you some of my picks. James Brown is on that list. I mean, that man could do no wrong as far as dancing goes. I mean, the dancing, the singing, he's just awesome. Elvis, what else can you say about Elvis that hasn't been said? Bob Hope, one of the greatest American comedians of all time. He does, in my opinion, he does not get the respect as a great entertainer. I really don't think he does. I mean, he's done, tours, during the wars. He's done comedy movies. The Oscars. He's hosted the Oscars. He just did so much, and yet he was so good. He was just constantly on the ball. That's what made Bob Hope so good. And another one, and I think Gene Kelly should be on that list. Gene Kelly should be on that list for the fact that not only could he act, he could sing, he could dance, he did a lot of things. He really did a lot of good things. And, I was thinking about this, what I was going to say. I'll put in another name that really doesn't come up on the list of greatest entertainers of all time. Charlie Chaplin. I'll tell you what. This guy, for almost 50 years, was on the big screen. He was doing movies, silent and then the talking ones. He also directed and produced movies. He could sing, like it was shown today in the Jackson Memorial. Charlie Chaplin could sing. He was really a great entertainer. But, when the only disadvantage for him is, he was in the 20s and the 30s when there really weren't any talking movies. So that does hurt him a bit, but I put Charlie Chaplin up in that list. And I'm not gonna forget the females. Madonna's on that list. Tina Turner's on that list. Aretha Franklin's on that list. Diana Ross is on that list. And, I mean, this is really just an interesting debate. So, I don't care how you put in your answer, if you do a video or if you write it under the messages. I just want to see your opinions. Hear your opinions. Who do you think is the greatest entertainer or entertainers that has ever lived?